And good morning. How are you doing this morning? Hopefully you're having a great day today. The reason I looked over here to my left is for some reason my monitor is out. Let's see. Put me there. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. Anyway, hope you're doing good this morning. Thanks for joining me here on Facebook Live. Also, thanks for joining me on YouTube as well. Hope you had a great morning. You know, if you've been watching, you noticed that I had said earlier this week, Monday, that we would have a wash, rinse, repeat kind of a forecast. That's exactly what we've had over this last week. I mean, every day almost identical, with temperatures in the 70s in the morning, which is way above normal. Afternoon high temperatures close to 90 or even lower 90s, and that's exactly what we've seen. And so every day has been very much identical. So that's what we're going to be looking at, is pretty much the same. Now, tomorrow we've got one more day. Then things begin to change as we head into Friday. I think Saturday's going to be cooler. And then next week, if you like cool weather, I've got some, I think I've got a good forecast for you. I think you're going to like it. So anyway, let's say hi to some folks. Alfred, how are you doing? Hopefully doing good. Jose, good morning. How are you doing this morning? And let's see. Yep, Alfred, you're going to love my 7-day. I tell you that. Valerie, how are you doing? Good morning. And yep, soup weather is on the way. Exactly. Chili, maybe tortilla soup, something like that. You're going to love next week if that's what you've been waiting for. And Debbie, yes, I know, finally got a little bit of some cooler weather headed our way. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go through this. Outside right now, temperature is 77 degrees. Calaveras Lake coming in at around 77. Maximum heat index yesterday. You know, this just, when we have a long string like this of heat index values, lower 90s every day, you know a change is on the way. Didn't want to rhyme there, but definitely a change is on the way. The high yesterday was 89. Maximum heat index yesterday right around 90. And look at Cotulla, felt like about 92 yesterday afternoon. Fredericksburg and in the hill country, that's where you wanted to be. Yesterday felt like the 80s. You know, the elevation always helps out around Fredericksburg and those areas. Let me switch this here. We don't want that. What we do want is the radar. So let's take a look at the radar outside. Maybe you picked up a little bit of a shower this morning. In the last couple of mornings, we've had these real kind of soupy conditions with showers that really don't amount to much. I mean, most of these showers, you don't even get measurable rain, but I guess it's better than nothing. But let's take a look. This is the, what I did with the satellite imagery, by the way, is I made the background black so the clouds show up nicer. Because if you look at the regular infrared satellite imagery, it just doesn't show up very well at all because the temperature is almost the same, the cloud temperature, because that's what infrared does. It's not like a visual picture. It takes an actual temperature of the cloud. Anyway, the clouds are so low to the ground that they're almost the same temperature as the ground. It just doesn't look good. But on this enhanced satellite imagery, you can see the individual clouds coming through here. And also, look what's happening now. I mean, just dotted little bitty showers, all from Pleasanton through Wilson County, Karnes County, over towards Gonzales. Let me come a little bit closer to home here, and even in Bexar County, look how look at how small these little bitty showers are. Really tiny. You've got one right now. Let's zoom in because we can. See, we can't do this on TV really because I've got only a certain amount of time. But there we go. We got this little shower, kind of almost approaching 1604. Probably a little bit of a delay, so 1604 you're picking up just a little, and that's really the only one I see in Bexar County. But we may see a little bit more as we get closer to noon. I think we'll see less and less. The atmosphere will mix up and we'll have partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Now this is the visible satellite imagery. Here's the difference, and you'll notice the difference. The one before was infrared. This one, though, is visible, and it's a lot more detail here. You can see almost literally the individual cumulus clouds there, and down to the south. And you see the texture, where you have the texture there. So anyway, you may not get excited about it. I kind of get excited about things like that. But anyway, that's the visible satellite imagery. All right, so temperature outside, 77 degrees. Seguin, 76. Floresville, 77. And Gonzales coming in at around 80. Victoria at 79. And by the way, on the temperature map, I used the old infrared imagery, and notice how it's not as detailed at all. But anyway, so just kind of a little bit behind the scenes of what I do. Let's say hi to some more folks. Alma, how are you doing? Next week's cold front better be colder, right? Alma, that almost sounds like a little bit of a threat. I know you're not threatening me. I'm just kidding. Next week, you're going to like it, I think. Hopefully it works out the way I think it will. And Debbie, how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing good. And let's see, Juanita, heard you expecting snow. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised in Missouri if they didn't have some snow. Yeah, it's getting cold. I mean, they've already seen snow in Iowa, South Dakota, all through the plain states there, so wouldn't surprise me at all. And Chivo, I like that. Look at the vegetables there. Look like some peppers. That's good. You must be, Chivo, you must be some kind of a cook. And Camille, how are you doing this morning? All right, so let's take a look. Look at the dew points. My goodness, dew point. It feels, I know it's October. It's October 22nd. But it really feels almost like September. I wouldn't say quite like August, but definitely. Now, next week, I think it's going to feel more like November. We'll get to that here in just a second. So let's take a look at the state temperature and what's going on and the whole pattern of what's going on. We've had this high pressure in the Carolinas. Around that ridge of high pressure, southerly winds coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, and that's why it's been so warm and why it has been so humid. But there's a warm frontal boundary in Kansas, and look north of Kansas. Oh my goodness, it's snowing parts of Iowa, Minnesota, South Dakota, up in that direction. Let me change this a little bit. Let me get you another map here. Don't do that to me. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, let's take a look at the nation. Here we go. Let's put some temperatures. Let's put some numbers on this. How cold is it across the northern part of the country? Well, how about Bismarck, 29, Casper, Wyoming, 25, Billings, Montana, almost in the teens. This is some really chilly stuff coming out of Canada. Now, you can see let's zoom in here. Okay, look at Kansas. You can almost see that frontal boundary is not moving. It's really kind of moving back to the north as a warm front, right? So it's kind of stagnant for now. But I think this front is going to be on the move, and I think it'll get here probably sometime tomorrow afternoon. So if you're going to a high school football game Friday night, I think it is going to be really kind of chilly out there with the winds picking up, and I think Saturday is going to be cool. Then we'll warm up on Sunday, and then we'll really have a shot of some much colder air for next week. It's going to come on down. Why do I think so? Well, let's take a look at the upper level pattern. Here's why I think what I think is going to happen is going to happen. Okay, so, over this last month and a half or whatever it's been, we've had a persistent troughiness across the eastern part of the country and a big ridge out across the western part of the country. And that's why those wildfires there's been so many of them, because it's been bone dry and it's been really hot. Well, the weather pattern for the first time in a long time is switching, is changing. And we have not seen a trough out across the western part of the country in a long, long time, and putting this in motion. Now, this is the mid and upper level pattern, right? And look what happens as we head, wow, we haven't seen that in a long time. See that big, nice trough across Arizona and New Mexico? And what happens when you're on the eastern side of a trough like that, you've got lift in the atmosphere. For about a month and a half, we've had nothing but just sinking air, lots of sunshine, dry conditions. Well, things are going to change. And also, I want you to notice, let me see if I can move this. No, I can't. But notice that pronounced upper level flow from Alaska through Canada into the northern part of the country. And I already showed you that the northern part of the country is bone-chilling cold. Well, more cold is going to move in. And it's been my experience, if you have a zonal flow across the country, a lot of that cold air goes to the east, towards the east coast of the U.S. If you can dig a big enough trough and have almost like a southwesterly flow, then that cold air kind of undercuts the upper level motion, and you have both colder air and it gets wetter. And I think that's where we're headed. So into Monday, we're going to start to see some showers. Tuesday, I think we've got a really good chance of seeing some rainfall. And then on Wednesday, I think we've got a really good chance of seeing some rain as well. So this is kind of another look at what I'm expecting over the next 36 hours, 48 hours, and into next week. Before I get to that, there's probably some more folks that I probably need to say hi to. Hey, Margie, hola, how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing great. Tony, it's a good thing I had my heater checked out. It's a good thing, yes. And you look like you had a little commercial there. That's fine. Rachel, how are you doing? And Cheryl, you know what? Thank you, Cheryl. I really appreciate it. I love what I do, and I really appreciate that. And Margie, get your long johns ready. Maybe so. And Alex, hello. Hey, how are you doing? Hope you're doing great. I appreciate so many people being on. We got a lot of folks on. All right. So here's what's going to happen as we head through the day. Little cloudy. We're starting to see a little, starting to see a little sunshine out there right now. And what happens is, I'm kind of long-winded here, but anyway, what happens is that sun hits the ground, it lifts, and it kind of mixes the motion of the atmosphere, and so you start to see some sun poking through, and the more sun you have, that kind of accelerates that, and so by this afternoon, we'll just have puffy clouds out there and partly cloudy skies and warm temperatures, and that's where we're headed. So high temperature this afternoon, again, I think about 89 degrees or so. Tomorrow, we'll start off with low clouds, see those clouds moving in, and we'll probably have a little drizzle tomorrow. I'm not expecting much more than that. In the afternoon, I think we'll probably hit 85, but look at that. Can you see that approaching in the afternoon? Maybe a thin line of showers right along the front. Again, don't expect much rainfall because I'm just not expecting much. And again, area high school football games, temperatures in the 60s with the winds picking up. If you happen to be watching me from Kerrville, if Tybee's playing, or Fredericksburg, you'll be in the 50s with a brisk northerly wind. That's going to be really chilly. That's Friday night. Into Saturday morning, I think lows will be in the 50s. I think I went 56. That's what this computer model's going. And maybe a little drizzle Saturday morning. But we should see a little sunshine in the afternoon. Probably not much. Saturday's going to be kind of a cool day. So let's fast forward things. Sunday, we're going to warm up. I bet you we hit a high close to 90. And then finally, that colder air comes in from the north. And this computer model, by the way, and I'm taking the curtain, I'm just pulling the curtain away, and I'm just going to tell you what I'm looking at. This is the GFS computer model. It's just one. Doesn't mean this is what's going to happen. Matter of fact, it probably won't exactly happen the way the computer model says. But like I told you before, when I see a pattern with a deep trough and cold air that's been across the northern part of the country, I tend to think it's going to be cooler and wetter. Okay, so this computer model has the front moving in, and by Monday evening in the 50s, and that's probably going to happen. So turning much cooler, and then by Tuesday morning, this has 48. I'm not sure if we can get down to 45 degrees or so Tuesday morning, and you may be wondering, what's all that pink? What's all that blue? Yeah, it's frozen precip. I believe that it's way overdoing it. I just can't believe that there'd be that much frozen precip up towards San Angelo, Brady, Brady's on the edge, Abilene, Midland, and then snow in Amarillo. It just seems awful, awful early for that. So what I did Tuesday is I had a low temperature close to 50 and pretty much staying in the 50s all day on Tuesday. But look at this. I mean, the GFS for Tuesday is wet, and I believe that's going to happen, with temperatures in the 40s all day long. Could be. I think 50s is probably more like it. But then Wednesday, that's when I think it's going to get really pretty chilly. The GFS has a low of 40. I think mid-40s is probably about right. And you notice the pink in Edwards County, portions of Kerr County. I'm not willing to go there. It just seems so early to have some kind of frozen precip there in the hill country. So let's not even talk about it. I didn't say it. I don't think it. But I'm just showing you what the GFS has, and I think it's a little cold. But anyway, my point is Wednesday, I wouldn't be surprised if we weren't in the 40s most of the day. I think Wednesday I went with a high of 55, and this computer model has 52. So you see what I'm looking at here. I mean, we're looking at some much cooler weather. Now, before we get to the 7-day, one last time, I'll say hi to some folks here. Gus, ready for winter. Yeah, cooler temperatures, you know, kind of winter-like. Definitely below average, and we've been above average for a long time. So you know it's kind of got to even out somehow, right? Okay, you've got a softball tournament in Victoria Saturday. I think in the morning, yeah, you probably could have a little bit of some sprinkle activity. I doubt you'll see much. Let me see what my high-resolution computer model. Hopefully, nobody really minds that we're going to kind of go back a little bit. But let's take a look at Saturday. You're there in Victoria. Victoria, Saturday morning. It's not showing much, and I don't think you're going to see much there. But you definitely will have cloudy skies, and it's going to be cool on Saturday. Kind of keep that in mind there in Victoria. Hopefully, you win, by the way. Linda. Okay, yeah, bring it on. That's what I say too. And let's see, Eloise, ready for cooler weather? I think we all are at this point. And Andrea, boots with the fur. Yeah, that's not the apple bottom jeans. No, that's something totally different. All right, Nancy. Hey, I'm glad you're loving it and ready for some cool or cold weather. All right, great. And Grace, thanks for joining me this morning. Okay, there's only one thing left to do, and that's look at the 7-day. And this is what I think is going to happen. So for today, close to 90, about 89 for a high. Tomorrow morning, we'll see a low temperature about 73. So business as usual, low clouds, dreary, perhaps a little drizzle, probably not as much as this morning. And then tomorrow, mid-80s, and here comes that front. It gets really gusty in the afternoon, really late afternoon into the evening for Friday night football. Saturday morning, 55. Winds will die down by Saturday morning, I think, maybe 10 miles an hour. And then Saturday, we may see a little sun in the afternoon. Don't count on a whole lot. Mostly cloudy skies, high 73. Sunday morning, we'll have a return flow of moisture out of the Gulf. Perhaps some drizzle first thing Sunday morning, definitely cloud cover. And then partly cloudy. I think Sunday's going to be just kind of like today with a high near 90 and partly cloudy skies. Monday, that's when things change. I'm expecting the cold front to come through early in the morning. If it doesn't, then Monday we could be starting off around 70, but either way, it's going to cool down through the day. Make sure the kids, if they're going to school, make sure they've got something that's going to keep them warmer because it is going to start to get really cool, I think, on Monday. And then Tuesday, temperatures in the 50s most of the day. I had 59 for Tuesday yesterday. I put 63 for Tuesday today. So I think I may have to go back. I think temperatures Tuesday are probably going to be in the 50s and a really good chance for rain, and I may have to up those rain chances. On Wednesday, good chance for rain, temperatures in the 40s most of the day. 50. I went 55 because that's really, I mean, the average high is 81. That's way below average. But either way, next week, going to be cool. It's going to be wet. It's going to be like what I call just raw weather. So hopefully you're ready for it. I think you are. And thanks for joining me this morning. I love doing this Facebook Live. It's so much fun. So I really enjoy it. I'm doing noon today. So join me at noon. I'm not sure who's anchoring. And then 4, 5, 6, and 10. Make sure and watch us. And I'll be doing weather again tomorrow morning. So we'll see you there. Again, thanks for joining me. And I hope you have a great, great day.